Welcome, welcome, welcome back, everybody. We are going to be starting our third chapter and probably kind of one of our hardiest ones, Guaranteed Plan of Success. Now, if you have not already gone through the first and second training video of our manual, please take time to do that right now because they all kind of intertwine and connect. So start with 1, 2, and then hop on back to this third chapter. Also, take some time to grab your materials that you need to write with, or your tablet, or your printed out worksheet, so that way we can get started and we're prepared for this. And we will hop on in. Okay, Guaranteed Plan of Success. A guaranteed plan of success is crucial to achieve success daily. It includes the stated above aspects. That's why it's important to go through chapter 1 and 2, because a guaranteed plan of success is going to include care like I care, give 100%, working your full shift, things like that. It includes the stated above aspects while also incorporating additional resources that outline our purpose and goal. Failure to achieve one of the following quadrants hinders an individual's daily success. And I want to say this just because it reflects our chapter 2 is giving 100%. Each of these you can kind of think about as 25%, right? And our 25% total gives us 100%. So if we don't hit all of these, each aspect, we are not going to see success because each of them is required to have 100% success, as we have learned before. All right, we're going to start in the process. The process is kind of how we do things every single day, and it's pretty basic. It's going to be a little checklist, so we'll start with the first one. The first process is new hire packet completion. Okay. New hire packet completion. If you are already in this training manual right now, that tells me you are in the process of completing your new hire packet. So you're in the first step. So good job. So we'll do 1. You guys are already there. 2, orientation attendance on Monday. Now sometimes this may be flexible depending on each individual schedule, but we're going to say orientation completion. This is actually super important because it gives you time to get to know their office managers, owners, other teammates, things like that. The new hire orientation completion will be after or before one of the meetings on Monday. So it can be on a one-to-one basis. It can be with a group. It really just depends on that particular week. So we'll check that off right now. 2, pass off completion. Pass off completion. We are going to touch on a proper pass off here in the later chapters, but for the purpose of this particular chapter, you just need to know pass off completion. That will be part of the process to be successful on a day-to-day basis. Quickly though, pass off completion is understanding all of the portions of our pitch and how to implement them on the doors and on a day-to-day basis. Next, daily schedule. This is going to incorporate schedule. I am a terrible speller, by the way, you guys, so just bear with me. Daily schedule. This is going to incorporate team meetings, Mondays and Fridays, and 5-hour minimum day to day. Boop. The one next, Voxer. Now we already went over kind of why we integrate Voxer, how we can integrate Voxer, the importance of Voxer, things like that. But Voxer, every single day you guys should be active in this. So this is part of the process to be successful on a day-to-day basis. Next, in-office training. In-office training. This is going to be Mondays, Fridays, sometimes Wednesdays. In-office training is crucial for success on a day-to-day basis. This is because we expand on all of these topics in this training course. Not just the first, second, third chapter, but all the chapters and beyond that. So in-office training is a great way to, first of all, expand your knowledge of the industry. It is an excellent way to build relationships with your team, and it is an awesome way to get additional practice so that way you can better yourself every single day. In-office trainings are so much fun, so it's crucial to attend that. Lastly, daily script practice. I already just highlighted that in the office we practice script practice. All of these are going to be excellent ways to be successful on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to put right here, this is 25%. Next, culture. This is how we do our jobs. We're going to start with the company. I can't read this enough. If you have not already gone through the first and second chapter, please do so right now, because as you can see, the culture box is right here, which highlights the expansion of the previous chapter about culture. Culture, company. This is going to be us as a whole. Company. I'm going to break it down into 3 simple parts. It's going to be care, which expands into care like I care. Sacrifice. I'll break that down very briefly. That is going to be sacrificing your time. And let me give an example. When I was first in this industry, within the first couple years, your weekends are going to have to be sacrificed. Why? Because appointments are on the weekends most of the time. So that's one aspect you're going to have to sacrifice, is your time. And this is part of being successful in this industry, because our schedules, aside from canvassing, are based around our clients' schedules. So if they want a 4 p.m. meeting, we're going to that 4 p.m. meeting. If they want a 8 p.m. on a Saturday, you bet your buns we're going to be there at 8 p.m. on a Saturday. So that's where sacrifice kind of comes in. It also comes into play when we have to sacrifice our time for those meetings, for extra practice, things like that. So care, sacrifice, and lastly, give 100%. Now, we already expanded these on the previous chapters, so if you have not already done so, please go check those out, so that way we can make sure we're all on the same page. Let me make this pretty. There we go. Care, sacrifice, give 100%. This is the company as a whole. Now let's dive into appointment setter. An appointment setter, you can be heard as an appointment setter, an SP1, a lead setter. They kind of intertwine all different, or interchange all different titles. But appointment setter is an individual who goes out and canvasses and set appointments for a closer. Let's break down culture for an appointment setter. Fun, focused, follow schedule. Boom. Simple, easy. We've already broke this down. Also, you guys, I have a 6-month-old kitten, so if you hear her playing around in the background, she is making a cameo and just wants to say what's up. Okay, appointment setter. Fun, focused, follow schedule. We already touched base on what this means and what it looks like on a day-to-day basis, but you guys know it's a 5-hour minimum, attending meetings, things like that. Make this fit. There we go. Fun, focus, follow schedule. Boom. Closer. You're going to hear the word closer and SP3. You might also hear the word self-gen, which is an individual who sets their own appointments, closes their own deals, situations like that. Now this one I'm not going to dive too much into, because that kind of is an entire different aspect of our training platform, which is closer training. This, as it stands right now, this training manual pretty much solely touches on appointment setting, culture, the basics. But a closer, it is important for a closer to understand the yes-no concept. Yes-no concept, it's basically an A-B, right? And you're like, what does that even mean? When we get into a closer or into appointment, you're going to face some challenging, I'd like to say, experiences. And that's going to ultimately mean you're going to push this individual to make two choices, right? We don't want a maybe. We want a yes or a no. So when we're in an appointment, does this make sense for you and your family? Yes or no, right? We want to know so that way time isn't wasted, because one of the things that we find is when we come back to maybes, it's kind of like you keep going back to maybes, you keep going back to maybes, and that maybe appointment is taking place of an appointment that could be a yes. Yes. And when we say yes, I want to go solar. No, I do not want to go solar. This is not a good fit. It's very simple. Yes, I want to go solar. No, I don't want to go solar. This culture for our closer is extremely important, so it doesn't waste time, it doesn't waste energy, and you can consistently bring opportunities that are new, that are going to choose solar, okay? It is okay to have a maybe. Sometimes that does happen, but for the most part, a closer's job is to find that yes or no. We are okay with closers coming out of appointments saying, no, it was not a good fit for them, and we say, good job, because you did the yes or no. That is a huge part of our closer culture. The last is 100%. And that's just going to be the same across the board for all of these guys. Obviously, that's why it's at the company portion. But a 100% goes back into that yes or no, no maybes for us over here. There you go. Leaders. This is important for all of us because eventually we're all going to want to be a leader at some point. Leaders. Urgency is an important culture aspect to be a leader. And this is regard to management. This could be team lead. This can be any type of individual who is leading at some degree in this company. Urgency. What do we mean by urgency? Let's expand on that. Urgency means that we are eager to do what needs to be done today. We're not putting it off. We're not putting off training. We're not putting off pitch practice. We're not putting off our area. We're not putting off appointments. Everything is urgent because let me tell you, this net metering program that is around right now will not be around forever. It got extended during COVID to 26% for a couple more years, and we'll learn a little bit more about that throughout these chapters. For this time being, urgency, 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 and this is across the board. This could also intertwine with the company. But for leaders, urgency is important because it's going to extend to our reps and to our clients. Urgency. Also, guys, if you guys ever have any questions about what we're talking about here, feel free to comment on these videos and we will get back to you guys as soon as possible. Another way that we can answer these questions for you guys is just reach out to one of your managers and we can get that kind of situated. Urgency. Also, 25%. Let's write that right here. Another 25. Let's go to the last two portions of this. This is details and relationships. Details is the day-to-day. We have 3 bullet points here. I believe your training manual has a little bit more than that, which means that we can expand and you can actually write some of your own in this as well that you think would be beneficial on the day-to-day to make sure we have done. All right, let's start with the first one. Day-to-day details. Punctual to meetings, areas, and appointments. I'm going to say proper time management overall. And we've extended on this multiple times, whether it's appointments, whether it's meetings, whether it's areas. Proper time management is huge. And if you haven't already listened to our first chapter, it talks about why proper time management is huge. And in the second chapter, proper time management, guys, it is huge. Number 2. Make sure we check that boy off. Number 2. Active daily and Voxer. I'm going to just say Voxer involvement overall. You guys know what this includes already because we've already gone through it in the previous chapters. But to expand, Voxer involvement, posting pictures, posting your full page count, letting us know how your area is, letting us know if you got any objections, things like that, because this is all going to benefit you and give you success on a day-to-day basis. This is literally the outline to follow to be successful. Okay, Voxer involvement. And we're going to check that one off too. 3. Palmetto use. I'm going to briefly touch base on what Palmetto is right now. But Palmetto is our database in which we put appointments into. So if you are not in Palmetto right now, this is a good time to go talk to your manager and let them know that you need to be in Palmetto. Palmetto is required for training. If you are not in Palmetto, you are not doing your job to the utmost 100% because the appointments are being lost into the universe. So in order to keep track of your appointments, your areas, times, dates, things like that, even understanding a proposal, how our database works, Palmetto is huge. Okay, so Palmetto use. These are details day to day. Proper time management. Oh, we lost management here. Oh, there it is. Proper time management. Voxer involvement, Palmetto use, these are all huge. Another details that are not on this particular layout would be selecting quality areas and attending areas prepared. These are all details that we've previously talked about in our second chapter. Details, 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 okay? This is another 25%. Now let's get into relationships. I always reiterate this if you've had an interview with me or if you worked closely with me. This industry is relationship based. It is relationships with your teammates. It is relationships with clients. It is relationships with management. It is relationships with your community. It is relationship based. Over all of that relationship based, we want to teach individuals in this industry how to be successful in these relationships. And it starts with these 3 examples, shall we say. And I'm sure you guys have heard some type of example like this before. You might have even heard this example in a previous job or in some other time. This example is excellent and it reiterates everything that we talked about. 1, give a man a fish. Give a man a fish. We're like pretty simple, right? Give a man a fish. You're like, what does that have to do with anything? Well, let me tell you. Remember when I said my cat will make cameos in this? There she is. Her name is Cleopatra. Okay, give a man a fish. 2, teach a man a fish. 2 fish. Teach. Teach a man to fish. Oh, that will be our 3rd. Teach a man to fish. And 3, teach a man to learn to fish. Let me reiterate all of these different situations and how it kind of reflects our industry. Give a man a fish. Here's an appointment. Teach a man to fish. Let's go canvas. 3, teach a man to learn how to fish. You teach him how to set his own appointment or her own appointment. You teach the individual all the proper ways to be successful, and that's literally what all these chapters are doing right now. They are teaching a man to learn how to fish. We don't want to just give appointments and that's it, right? We want to make sure we teach you how to set appointments. We want to make sure we teach you how to close appointments. We want to make sure we teach you how to be successful on your own, so that way you are not dependent on us 100%. We will provide you all the training materials. We will provide you all the resources. We will provide you all the time, all the one-on-one, everything, all the practice, everything that you guys need to be successful, we will provide for you. But we will not do everything for you, right? We will not hold your hand the entire time, because this industry is very independent based. That's why a lot of people love this industry, because it's very much on your own, right? You get to decide what times you work. Right? You have the 5-hour minimum, but you could truly do your 5-hour minimum whenever works for you, right? Teaching a man to learn how to fish is teaching an individual how to do this job. We don't want to just make sure we give everything to you guys without any prior knowledge, any resources, anything like that. What we do is we give you all the resources and training materials, the attention, the practice, everything you could possibly dream of to be successful. It is your job to take those resources and use them. And that is exactly why we have the training manual. That's why we have the workbook, and that's why we have the videos, okay? We are teaching you how to fish. We are teaching you how to set appointments. We are teaching you how to canvas. We are teaching you how to work in the community. We are teaching you how to close appointments, right? We are doing all these things, but we're not going to do them for you. So let me give you an example. Give a man a fish would just be giving you the workbook. Or I guess give a man a fish would just be giving you the training manual. Number 2, teaching a man to fish would be giving you the workbook, right? You do a little work. 3, teaching a man to learn how to fish is combining the workbook, the training materials, and the videos. We are teaching you how to fish. It is important to use all 3 resources to be successful. You can't just read all of this and be like, all right, I'm ready to go. There's details beyond just these bullet points. There are ideas beyond just these words. So we want to make sure you guys learn how to fish, so that way you are not just throwing a rod without any bait on the end, okay? What is the difference between these 3 statements? We already touched on that, but let's give a brief difference of these statements. It's very simple. The difference is the desire to learn. And what I mean by that is, are you actually going to take this training manual and read it? Are you actually going to take time to fill out the workbook? Are you actually going to take time to watch these videos and pair all 3 and layer them on top to make this perfect little cake and present for you in this industry? Are you going to take that desire to learn and expand on that and grow? It's the desire to learn, you guys, and I can't reiterate this enough. A lot of individuals who come into this industry don't want to learn all the nitty-gritty stuff. They just want to go out and talk to people, and that's okay, but your job is only going to be appointment setting because you never took the time to learn the rest of the materials. It is important to have the desire to learn. Crave that new knowledge, right? You're hopping into a new industry. Have fun with it. Sink your teeth into this. I love learning new things, and this is one of the reasons why I love this industry, because you're constantly learning new things. Especially as we dive into this training manual, you're going to learn so much stuff. Desire to learn. And the last thing I'm going to add to this is seek clarity, and you're going to hear this all the time from management. And ask questions. This is huge. You'll hear us all the time, hey, just seeking clarity. What does this mean? Or how does this work, right? And this goes back to solution over problem. This goes back to everything. If you're not asking questions, are you confirming your knowledge? Are you growing your knowledge? You can ask the basic, most simple questions to the most complex question. We love questions, we love active learners, and we love individuals who have the desire to learn. This is the last 25% of this. You need the process, you need the culture, you need details, and you need the relationship to be successful on a day-to-day basis. Okay, you guys? That concludes our third chapter in our training manual. Okay? And that is the guaranteed plan of success. If you guys have any questions about any of this, feel free to type your questions on the YouTube channel. Feel free to reach out to management. All of us are always available for you guys as a resource. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to working with you guys on the fourth chapter.